The reason why I'm able to keep a positive and optimistic outlook on life while everybody else is dooming is because I read the polls and I know what the bench for the other side has to deliver, and it's not pretty. AOC is polling for Democrats in the 2028 run. Gavin Newsom, that's your bench. AOC and Gavin Newsom. Have a great time with that. Have a great time on running on New York and California as your big feature pieces for how well you can manage things nationally. It's going to be great. You can see here that Gavin Newsom is actually sunk below J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio in the odds. If you go to just Democrat odds, not 2028, but the Democrat field for the nominee, you'll see that Gavin Newsom has been collapsing. AOC has been ticking up. So has Kamala Harris, John Ossoff. Good luck with that. But there's another name on here that's very unique and quite interesting. You see Hunter Biden is rising, skyrocketing actually, because Hunter Biden has floated running for president. That is the absolute state of the Democrat Party. The Rock, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, the ESPN commentator and personality. A man who, well, has spoken very kindly about President Trump in some interviews. Stephen A. Smith saying that he likes Donald Trump. All the brothers found him to be cool. He's very cool. Let me be clear, because he knows his sports. He says what he feels. He bucked the establishment. We love and gravitated to that. He's talking about black people. I've never called him a racist. I've never spoken about him that way. Not once, not one time. I knew Trump beforehand. Stephen A. Smith did not like Joe Biden in the 2024 election. He clowned on Joe Biden regularly. Here he is running through his studio at ESPN, joking about Joe Biden, like bashing Joe Biden. He said that you'd be smoking crack. If you think that an hour speech offsets all of the Biden falls, you're smoking crack. And his strong words. In a town hall with President Trump on the phone, he endorsed Stephen A. Smith.
He's got great entertainment skills, which is very important. People watch him. You know, a lot of these Democrats I watch, I say they have no chance. I've been pretty good at picking people and picking candidates, and I will tell you, I'd love to see him run.
All right, there you go. Stephen A.
So, would Stephen A. Smith ever run for president? And is he starting right now by deciding to debate Donald Trump and fight Donald Trump? Well, this is the friction that is causing these two men to begin what is starting to spiral into a major beef online. The Spurs beat the Knicks in New York last night. President Trump was there in spite of Stephen A. Smith screaming at him not to show up. Trump has now hit back. Stephen A. Smith called out Donald Trump, saying this president has no business showing up.
It is selfish. It is narcissistic. It is ridiculous that he is coming to this game. I would say the same thing if it were Obama, George W., Clinton. I don't give a damn. We went back to Reagan. This is not a football stadium in some space in Texas where you got a whole bunch of outlays and all of this. This is the Garden. This is Midtown Manhattan. You have any idea what the congestion is going to be like in New York City here? I get off my radio.
So Stephen A. Smith saying that Donald Trump doesn't deserve to go, and some people even questioning if Donald Trump is a Knicks fan. Strangely enough, Donald Trump was defended by Adam Silver, CEO of the NBA.
Outside seats. He was here all the time. He was at drafts, so he's a genuine Knicks fan. And so, yes, there's some inconvenience to the fans here, but one looking around this arena, it's packed. So,
and Whoopi Goldberg? Huh?
Are Knicks fans. Trump and Mayor Mamdani are Knicks fans and have been. They're New Yorkers. And you can't, there's nothing either one of them can do to change what's happening in the city for this team.
Okay, so why blame it on Donald Trump? But this is exactly what Stephen A. Smith did. Stephen A. Smith blamed the loss on President Trump. for the Knicks. Stephen A. Smith blames Trump for Knicks' loss. Hopefully he comes to the rest of the game. Stephen A. Smith is a racist bigot.
Twice as much as everybody else. OG Anunoby had 28 points and 13 shots. Jalen Brunson had 32. I want to talk about it. I told y'all Trump would mess everything up. It's his fault. It's his fault. Yeah, Jalen Brunson then passed the ball. He shot twice as much as everybody else. OG Anunoby had 28 points and 13 shots. Jalen Brunson had 32 points and 25 shots. It was like he was trying to win MVP. It's not how they played the first two games. But it's all about Trump. Trump ruined this. President Donald Trump showed up here and disrupted the vibe, disrupted the momentum, disrupted everything. And the New York Knicks faltered because of it. It's all his fault. That's all I have to say.
Strong words. Donald Trump at the Knicks game got a USA chant going and also got a mix of cheers and boos when he was shown on the Jumbotron.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the
Again, it's New York. Kamala Harris won New York by 1 million votes. She won by 80 points, Manhattan. So Donald Trump being asked about the beef with Stephen A. Smith, of course, doesn't hold back. He says that Stephen A. Smith is a low IQ person.
Cheers. It was I think mostly cheers. It was loud and it was very enthusiastic.
Mr. President, ESPN commentator Stephen A. Smith, who was talking about running for president, said he would blame you if the Knicks lost the game. How do you respond to that?
I think he's a nice guy, but you need a certain aptitude to run for president. You need a high IQ. I'm not sure that Stephen has that. I don't think he does, actually.
Okay. So not a high IQ, and then Trump saying that the NBA is a little left wing, but it's great entertainment.
Not about basketball, but it's good. It's good for the game.
Do you think the NBA has
it's a tougher
away
game.
From the left wing stuff that they were getting criticized for?
Well, it's a little left wing. I think so. It tends to be a little bit left wing, but it's great entertainment.
Okay, well, here's the entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. The Spurs have invited, of course, based out of Texas, has invited Trump to attend the NBA Finals games 4 through 7. A hilarious troll. The Knicks are up 2-0, now 2-1. President Trump getting responded to by Stephen A. Smith, clapping back, saying that Donald Trump wasn't awake and that he was sleeping during the game. Hey, retards, those little TVs inside the Knicks suite? Yeah, that's exactly what Trump was watching. He wasn't sleeping. Maybe one day you'll get invited to a suite and see what's happened, because people were saying that Trump was asleep because of a photo like this. Or this. Look, this is 16 million views. So President Trump, but you can actually see the TV screens right here. Was Trump watching the TV screen, or is he asleep? He's there with the Knicks owner, and you can see Donald Trump shaking his head and responding to something. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it looks like this sure seems logical to me, but Stephen A. Smith has decided to now challenge Donald Trump to a debate and to say that Donald Trump is running from him. Here we go.
You want to talk about IQ? I could say I put my IQ up against yours any day of the week. I could go one better. I could ask you why you've been running from me the last year since I wanted to talk to you. I could ask you to debate me since you think you that dude, okay? We can go a myriad of ways with all of this, but I'm not going to let you off the hook because none of that is important. I do appreciate the fact that you called me a nice guy because don't tell anybody, but I actually am a very nice guy until you tug at me a little bit. And then after that, I got to show my other side. And my other side came out last night when I recognized that businesses that are accustomed to being patronized were compromised by you because you showed up. The crowd that surrounded the Madison Square Garden and its surrounding areas, you compromised. I thought you were about the economy. I thought you were about helping New Yorkers because you love New York. I thought you were about making money for people. What happened to the parking garages? How much money did they make? What happened to the local restaurants in the immediate vicinity of Madison Square Garden? How much money did they make? We know you've made a lot of money. We know you keep making money. But have the New York Knicks benefited? The answer to that would happen to be no. This is a sports show, so I won't go any further than that other than to say Brunson played better when you weren't there. Mikal Bridges played better when you weren't there. Karl Anthony Towns played better when you weren't there. Landry Shamet played better when you weren't there. The crowd was festive, hyped, and more intimidating when you weren't there. Businesses were thriving before you showed up. Parking garages were being filled before you showed up. There was noise reverberating off the walls of Madison Square Garden before you showed up. And this is what you've done. I thought you were a New Yorker, Mr. President. I thought you cared. I thought it mattered to you. Gotham City, the New York Knicks, the erasing of a 53-year drought. I thought that mattered to you. Evidently it didn't. And you know how we know? Because you're actually talking about coming back for game 4. Why would you do that when you couldn't stay awake? It's clear you need your rest.
This is the rage bait part.
The New York Knicks need it too.
This is the rage bait. The rage bait. Stephen A. Smith knows what he's doing here. Is he trying to run for president? Is this him announcing a run for president? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I know that Democrats don't have much hope in 2028. I think it'd be a fool's errand to try and fix that party. I'd probably be more worried about Stephen A. Smith than any other candidate. But Stephen A. Smith has said he'd have to give up all of his business and everything like that, and things are too good, and he's not going to do it. We'll see. Things can change. But that's rage bait for Donald Trump. He's toying with President Trump. He's angling for something. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.